Welcome, Cornhole fans, inside the Valley Forge Casino Resort here in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. It is day 3 of the 2024 ACL Final Chase, and it is time for teams action. We have played 111 games for each team except for 4, and those 4 are battling for playoff spots here in King of Prussia. It is going to be an intense early afternoon here in Pennsylvania. Trey Ryder alongside Wally K9 Kassler. Today, Wally, we're going to be bringing you the Georgia Sliders versus the California Slingers, and we'll get a little bit into the stakes here, Wally, but both teams have something to play for, and when you talk about the last day of the season, that's all you can really ask for from a viewer.
I mean, the last day, it all coming down to playoff. But, I mean, if somebody would have told these players ahead of time that every game matters this year, and they could have avoided all this leading up to it. But now, hey, we're here the last day. This is where the tension mounts. Every bag matters. Every win matters. Who's going to make it?
Yeah, this is an intense day. Let's go through the scenarios real quick and talk about where we are with each of these two teams. First, let's start with the Georgia Sliders. The Georgia Sliders currently are second in their region, which is the South. They find themselves 3.5 games out of first place, which means if they were to go on a really big tear in this one and say win 6-1 or 7-0, they would ultimately win first place in the South and be the top seed. That's significant because that means they would avoid playing the Ohio Aviators, who have the best record in the first round of the playoffs. However, they only have a half-game lead on the Carolina Coasters. The Coasters also hold the head-to-head tiebreaker, which means the Sliders cannot lose 4-3 or worse, right? They have to go out and win 4-3, 5-2, whatever, in order to make the playoffs. So this is a significant and important match here for the Georgia Sliders. Jumping over into the California Slingers, they are in a better position. They just can't have a really bad day. Right now, they can't get the first seed in their division. The High Rollers have locked that up. But the Slingers can fall out of the playoff race as they only have a 2.5 game lead on the Arizona Burn, who do hold the tiebreaker with them. So they cannot lose worse than 5-2. Okay, so it is significant. We'll keep you guys updated. I know that's a lot to digest out of the gate, but we'll dive in after each and every game, let you know where they are, what the standings are, and what the stakes are in real time. Wally, this first game up, Cameron Belvin and Tice Cobb going head-to-head against Corey Gilbert and Ricky Gonzalez. And at what point do we start getting some high-level intensity from these teams, Wally? It can't wait too long.
I think it's going to be like round 5 or 6. Light skin's pretty quiet right now. I expect Corey to start getting verbal at some point. He's happy with that block. But we started off the season watching the Georgia Sliders. Cameron with a big hit right there out of nowhere. And I was wrong. We're not waiting until round 5. It's round 2 right there on that shot. But, man, we started off the season with the Sliders, watching them on broadcast, and this is a different version of Tice. This is going to be a huge matchup right here. I think people are underestimating how great Tice has turned this season around.
Cameron Belvin going up again. She knocks in Corey Gilbert. Gilbert actually has an opportunity to score. And he does. Big bag there by Corey Gilbert after Cameron Belvin hits that big airmail drag.
He's going to be very animated doing stuff just like that. Good news, though, Sliders still have the lead. Got some pro sniper elites going against some AAR rippers.
Now, there is a sweet spot here, Wally, for both teams. If the Georgia Sliders were to go 4-3 on a win here, both the Slingers would maintain their spot in the region, and the Sliders would maintain their playoff spot as well. So keep an eye on that as we get towards the end. We're talking about a 4-3 game or a 4-3 match that could shape up that both teams could walk away happy. Bag blocking up the front here, and now another thought decision here for Ricky Gonzalez.
One thing we're getting a little bit more of right now is we're seeing the teams that aren't in this match gathered around. You do see a couple coasters on the left side. Ringers there in the background on the right. You can see they barely made it in. A little squeaker for them.
Yeah, the Ringers. Let's go through the other divisions. That's a good point there, Wally, of those that are already locked in, ones that don't matter, right? The Mays right now have locked in a playoff spot in the Central. They are 62-49 right now on the Facebook page. The Chicagoland Spinners are playing the Ohio Aviators. In theory, the Spinners could pass the Mays and take over first place, or the Spinners could lose enough to have the Bully Baggers pass them. But the idea is the Mays are locked in and the Spinners control their own destiny over there on court number 2. That's on Facebook. The High Rollers, we already mentioned, they've locked up a playoff spot. We've already gone through the scenario with the Slingers and the Burn. In the North, the Aviators have not only locked up a playoff spot, they have locked up the number 1 seed. Even if they lost 7-0 to the Spinners over there on court number 2, they would be the number 1 seed. And the Ringers, Wally, squeak in, like you said, to the playoffs. Just one game separated them from the Marauders, but they do lock up that playoff spot. And then finally, the Florida Freeze have also locked up a playoff spot. We have talked about already how the Sliders, though, could, in theory, with a really, really big day, take over that number 1 seed.
Now, for you, is this a situation where the Ringers have fallen off compared to last year? Or do you think that their lineups have been questionable for me the few times I've seen them? I'm surprised they're just not going with Harbaugh and JBJ like they did last year.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly would make you feel. And I wonder, Wally, if for the playoffs, now that they squeaked in there, that they go back to that strategy that helped win them a championship.
Big round right there for the Slingers. We get ourselves a lead change now, 7-6. The one blow-up round for Tice. Only halfway through. Still plenty of time to get back into it. See how Corey wants to start this. Uh-oh. I said round 5. Starting to get into it. I hear murmuring in the background now, Trey. Oh, I forgot we got chat.
Yeah, we got a chat now.
What's up, guys?
Pull that YouTube up. We're on YouTube. And Cameron Belbin helps get those points back that her partner gave up. They're now up 10-7. Score update, looks like the Aviators are winning game 1. That's on the Facebook page. So, again, we'll probably keep you guys updated on both sets of standings for both regions. Block in right there by Ricky Gonzalez. And Tice Cobb, a little bit of a step out, trying to go around it, and he does. Ooh, Corey jumping in our ears saying he is dropping a poll in the YouTube chat. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you vote. Who's going to win this matchup?
That was the first vote.
Wally just voted. Corey loves polls. That's right. All right, 10-7. We keep churning on. Pressure is on now.
Ricky G says, come on, give me 5.
Round number 8.
Corey tried to throw a blocker. Last round was too far to the right. That time it's perfect. Timeout, court 1.
Yeah, they're blocked up behind now. It's about how aggressive do you want to be. One bag in there for the Sliders.
Check in with the chat. Iron Hooligan says, hoping the Sliders pull away. A few people asking if Logan Hall is going to play. I do see Logan Hall in the 3rd game, teaming up with Peter Sisweda.
The Ohio Aviators have won game 1 against the Chicagoland Spinners. So in real time, I'm going to add the Aviators are going to get their 62nd win. The Spinners are going to get their 47th loss. So if I go over here, Slingers, 57 and 48.
What's up, Mish? Welcome in. It says Slingers, baby. Go figure, Mish rooting for California. She's loyal, though, unlike Jake, the flip-flopper. Went from the Cutters to the Aviators. I've been loyal to my Freeze. They made it in. Congratulations to them. Backside.
Oh, backside airmail by Corey Gilbert.
It's 10-7, round 8. No reason to take a risk just yet.
Belvin taking an extra second here. She's trying to go through everything. She's off the back. Will Gilbert go again? He's going up again, and he hits it again, this time with the drag.
The pressure on Cameron's face right now.
Cameron Belvin.
This is a huge push.
Slick side down, trying to clean everything up. She's not able to do it.
Goodness.
Gilbert going up again for another airmail and hits it again. 3 airmails, the second with the drag, and Corey Gilbert absolutely takes control of this one and gives the Slingers a 4-point lead going into round 9 of game number 1.
Something about teams that brings out the best in Corey Gilbert, and I think it's just he's just relaxed. He's having a great time in it. My man shines on the court. Turn the lights on. Give him a good crowd like this. He's one of these players that will rise to the occasion with the crowd in the background for sure.
Oh, he feeds off of it, right? Even him when he's playing in doubles with Dean Norton, like the ability to feed off of energy. A short bag by Tice Cobb. This is desperation mode now for these Sliders. Tice Cobb stepping out here. Trying to get around. He does have a bag short here. Got to make up some points. He's in. That's a good bag. A little bit of pressure on Ricky Gonzalez here. Just got to be up the center. Man, he hangs on the side. Right now it's a wash.
Pretty sure that one's going to go.
Yeah, you think that one's going to go, but if you are Tice, if you're able to go in, even if you take that bag with you, you will at least get one. That would make it 14-11. That'd keep you in it.
When it falls.
It falls there, so going in would get you a single point, makes it 14-11. Pressure's on for Tice Cobb, and he drips in. Nice bag there from Tice Cobb. We're going around 10, Wally. Unlikely but possible. Down 3 in the final round. This is game 1 of this 7-game series.
Now, if I'm Cameron Belvin here, I'm going to fire a block on the first bag because I know Corey Gilbert wants to shoot another airmail to keep himself in this game.
And
Perfect.
you called it. But Corey Gilbert stepping out a little bit here. He might be trying to get around this. The Sliders need 3 to force overtime. Beautiful side by side there. Belvin goes behind it. Gilbert is going to lay behind, and now this becomes a game of shooting airmails. Belvin is up, and she is deep off the back. Gilbert just going to lay up again. This one's got to be a drag.
The good news is there's a little bit of a gap in front of her bag where she can push that in.
Going for a little bit of a rodeo, and she's not able to do it. That is going to lock it up. Game 1 goes to the California Slingers. They are looking to lock up their playoff spot. The Georgia Sliders, desperation mode. Got to start winning some games if they're going to make the playoffs. We'll be back. More teams action live from Valley Forge.
Come on, man! Come on!
Life's most memorable moments. They can happen anywhere. On sports' biggest stage, or even in your own backyard. For those moments, seek a world beyond home. Find furniture, decor, grills, playsets, yard games, and yep, even cornhole. Backyard.com has everything you need to make your backyard summer ready all year long. Backyard.com. Let's have fun.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Bush's Baked Beans have always been the official bean of making burgers taste better. And now, they're the official beans of the SEC.
And the official bean of whatever that is.
Hey, it's tailgate fashion. Now this guy gets it.
Ah, nuts.
No. Was Planters nuts? It's not nuts.
It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
Goes way up top and hits it! What? He knows it. Goes up top and hits it! What a shot! Ticket to the championship and hits it! What a shot!
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You've got the force field, the moat, the saucy sheriff. No matter your cookout plate strategy,
Bush's Baked Beans make burgers taste better.
I love me a saucy sheriff.
Nuts.
No. With Planters nuts, it's not nuts. It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
Welcome back, Cornhole fans. We are here, some ACL Pro teams presented by Corn Nuts. We had the California Slingers get an early win there, 1-0 now. And as we look in the rankings and how that shapes everything out right now, live update of the National West. The Slingers now holding a 3-game lead over the Arizona Burn. That puts them in a really, really good position to finish things out here. Just can't have a big collapse. If we look over on the part of the Sliders, though, they now find themselves, Wally, tied with the Carolina Coasters. So it is desperation mode. You can't go 3-3 across the next 6 games because the Coasters have the head-to-head win. So you have to go 4-2 over these next 6 games. And they're doing so with a really strong team, leading it off here with Ryan Smith and Ryan Wiedenfeld.
Yeah, on paper, Ryan Smith and Ryan Wiedenfeld should win this matchup. They're one of the strongest doubles teams in the pro division, teaming up here in teams with the offseason trade. Going through the lineups, we got Gabe Dolan and Andrew Noyes on deck. They're going to take on Logan Hall and Peter Sasueda Jr. for the Slingers. After that, Duncan Clammer and Josh Holland for the Sliders to take on Kyle Malone and Nick Williams. That's going to be a game that I'm going to keep my eye on. Katie Matthews and Matt Matthews are going to take on Emily Downer and Michael Allen in game number 5. Jerry Lockwood and Noah Wooten with the tough task of defeating Tony Smith and Dean Norton in game 6. Then if it all comes down to it, game 7, Bobby Hunt and Terry Mathis taking on a couple rookies in Brandon Martinez and Roy Fearden. Rookies in game 7, Trey. Pressure.
Nice little sneak in there on that right side for Philip Lopez.
And Philip Lopez, another one of these draft trades that happened and picked up, traded for Kyle Malone.
Chicagoland Spinners, update on that other one. They're into game 2. Again, that's on the Facebook page. And in game number 2 right now, Mark Richards and Nico Morellas are up 13-2 in round number 7. So the Spinners looking to be getting themselves a victory and getting on the board. That's important for them to keep their playoff spot.
Sorry, I misspoke. Getting picked up along with Kyle Malone.
Yes, I believe Kyle Malone was a trade for the for Alec Ryan.
Yep.
And then on the other side, it was Philip Lopez for Travis Purser, I believe.
Correct. On paper, we thought the Slingers won that trade, and I still think the way that this played out this season,
I agree.
They're still on the upper end of that trade.
Georgia Sliders here. Ryan Smith and Ryan Wiedenfeld. I said this during the break. While I think this is a must-win for the Sliders. One, you have to start. You have to go 4-2 over the next 6 games. That's number one. You have to go 4-2 over the next 6 games. However, when you go 4-2, in order to do that, you put your best doubles team out on the court. You have to get a win out of them, right? They have to be one of those 4. So to me, when you have Smith and Wiedenfeld teaming up here in this lineup, you have got to get this victory.
Well, I like them in this match. I like them in game number 7. Duncan Clemmer and Josh Holland have a, on paper, advantage, I would say, over Kyle Malone and Nick Williams. But where's that 4th win going to come from? That's the question mark. I don't see it coming from Jerry Lockwood and Noah Wooten against Tony Smith and Dean Norton. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Matt and Katie Matthews on game 5.
Husband and wife duo.
Gabe Dolan and Andy Noya is up next. I think that might be the must-win.
Let me see. Who'd you say they were playing again?
They're going to take on Logan Hall and Peter Sasueda Jr.
Ooh, that's a tough one to call a must-win, though, Wally, but I get what you're saying. Our truck is asking if the Bully Baggers make the playoffs, and the answer is I don't have an answer for them. Big airmail there by Philip Lopez. Because right now the Spinners have a 1-game lead over the Bully Baggers, but the Spinners are playing on live stream court number 2. So it all depends on if the Aviators can put the hammer down on the Spinners or not. Round number 5. Nice shot there by Nunez. Wiedenfeld blocks it up. Interesting to see how he wants to handle this.
His first thought was block. Phil says just drive through.
Wiedenfeld up the center. And one of each goes, and now the question can be, can Nunez collect his bag here for 2 points to even up the game? Yes, he can. 2-2 as we head into round number 6. Watch this one again. Nice slick side execution, just grabs that corner.
I think that might have been a mental mistake for Wiedenfeld trying to basically pop that pile and force Michael off the back, but gives up the 2 points. Luckily, the bag stayed on the board. Got the Georgia Sliders winning in the poll, 52%. California's with 47%, 73 total votes. Appreciate the participation, chat.
The one interesting I like about where we are right now, Wally, is that so normally when we have these teams matches that are streamed, you have each team here, right? You have the Slingers and the Sliders. But the Coasters are also here and the Burn are also here because the result of this match will determine if either one of those teams also makes the playoffs.
Yeah, KB was over here for a second, and I think somebody told him, hey, your match that matters is over there on the right.
Yeah, the Bully Baggers are over on the other side.
What's that high cut? You don't like that?
Okay, Nico Morales and Mark Richards get a win for the Chicagoland Spinners in that matchup. So if we add the Spinners here, they get their win there. So the Spinners get their 58th win, and then the Aviators are getting their 39th loss there. So if we look at how that affected the standings, again, the Spinners now out to a 1.5-game lead over the Bully Baggers. So in a decent position there, building a little bit of a lead. They need as much of a buffer as they can going against the Aviators. We'll keep you guys updated on all that as we go. Ryan Smith bag is away, and he gets the drag. Nice bag by Ryan Smith. Need the leadership, and Ryan Wiedenfeld put the score on the wrong side, so he's going to fix that real quick.
Oh, man, that's the one thing you don't want to do is give your opponent the points. Here we are. This game's going quick. Round 7 already.
Beautiful level 1 block. Nunes stepping out just a little bit to get rid of that V when he makes contact. Oh, what a collect there by Nunes. Between the broadcast court, from the bag brawl in now, Nunes having himself a great string of games. What a roll by Wiedenfeld. Oh my goodness, Michael Nunes is here for it.
Wiedenfeld's missed block off to the side forces him to waste a bag, throwing a block on bag number 3. Hits the roll on bag 4, but that opened up the window for the airmail for 2 points, and that's exactly what happened. Michael's holding his own over here on the right.
3 rounds remain. Now the question is Ryan Smith going to be able to get that bag?
Great concentrations. That bag was falling mid-throw.
Man, do you go after this bag, Wally?
I'm going to wait till bag number 4. Now I got to go after it. I love when you miss it and it still goes in.
Smith goes in, but that's a 4-point round. Sliders are on the brink, Wally.
This is where Wiedenfeld needs to shine. First bag has to be a blocker, regardless of what Michael does. It is. It's not a very good one. It's too far to the left. Got some help.
Yeah, Nunes helped him out, brought it closer, and Wiedenfeld gets around. Got to be careful here. This is a little bit of a step out. I don't know if is he trying to collect his own bag?
No, he's just trying to get that wedge.
If he is trying to get it, that seems a little bit too aggressive for me. Nunes finishes with a 10. Wiedenfeld with a 12. And now we go into round number 10, 8-6. Ryan Smith needs 2 points to force overtime, 3 or more points to win it, or else the Slingers are going to go up 2-0.
It's a good start for the round. Again, has to force a miss out of Lopez. Lopez's job to clean this up right now. There's the miss.
And that could be the miss. Replacement right there by Ryan Smith. Collect by Lopez, puts him in position.
I don't think there's enough there to collect that bag on the right.
And how aggressive do you want to be going after it? Oh, and that came up short. Does Lopez want to be aggressive?
Stepping all the way out to try and collect that Brotherhood Guardian L bag. Sticky side down.
He brings it closer, and now the pressure is on Ryan Smith to try to collect the bag on that left side. Will he go stick or slick side? He's got slick side down. Bag is away, and he collects them both. And now if Philip Lopez just puts his bag in, we go to overtime. If he collects and puts the bag in, they win. If he doesn't go in with anything, they lose this game. For the win. And he just knocks it in, stays off to the side. We are going to overtime. Watch this again from Ryan Smith. Pressure's on, and the captain, one of the co-captains, delivers right there.
Looking at the PPR so far, we got Ryan Wiedenfeld with a 10.8, Nunez matching him. Philip Lopez and Ryan Smith over here on the left with 10s.
Nunez has a chance to win this. Oh, but he ends up off to the right side with Wiedenfeld. We're back even.
He gets so low on his throw. Oh, my goodness.
In for the win for Nunez, and he's off to the side!
Might have rushed it a little bit, but he had bumpers on both sides, throwing slick side. I think he was in great position. Oh, the pressure of all these bags here on the final week.
And the math would tell you that that was a bag to go to the playoffs. They only need 2 of these wins to the Slingers. Oh, and it's off to the left, and now the door is open for Ryan Smith, who hit a game-tying push to send them into Game 3. Tied 1-1.
It's a good block, but it doesn't need to do anything aggressive here.
What a cut roll combo there from Ryan Smith. He said it's ugly, but it works.
It's one of those situations there where a block might win you the game, but a cut,
yeah,
even though it's risky, could have sealed the deal.
Lopez trying to decide what he wants to do here.
He's got to push up, right? He can't risk a rodeo in the final bag. The heckling on the side.
And it is on the backside. That is going to do it. Ryan Smith doesn't really need to do anything. He can really just board it. We're going to get a Ryan Smith to end it. And, yeah, that's not going to matter. You're going to get 2 bags in. Not able to do it. And just like that, on the back of Ryan Smith's clutch play, the Georgia Sliders tie up this series 1-1. We'll give you the update of what that means for the standings when we come back. More action live from Valley Forge. California Slingers, Georgia Sliders. Final chase. Welcome back, Cornhole fans, here inside the Valley Forge Casino Resort. Teams action on day 3 of the final chase. The Georgia Sliders on the back of Ryan Smith and Ryan Wiedenfeld have tied up this series at 1-1. It makes their overall record for the year 49-57, so still sub 500, but right now they are still clinging on to a playoff spot. They have a half-game lead now with 5 games to go on the Carolina Coasters. So time will tell if they're going to be able to make the playoffs. They essentially have one more loss to give. Now, the good news on the other end is the Slingers. Really, even though they lost there, they're still 1 game away from clinching that playoff spot. So the Burn are intently watching on and hoping that these Sliders can go on a historic run here and win this one in a big way. But it is the Sliders who are in more of the desperation mode. On the other court, court number 2, we do have the Chicagoland Spinners and Aviators. The Aviators just won game number 3. So now the Spinners are just down to a 1-game lead again over the Texas Bully Baggers. That one's very close as well. We'll keep you guys updated as we get through the rest of these games.
Talked about it last game. I think this is the must-win here for the Sliders. And I think it's going to be determined over here on the left-hand side of how Gabe Dolan wants to play this game out.
Two-zero Slingers. Logan Hall was the first-round pick for the California Slingers and looking to help send them to the playoffs.
Ooh. Guess I want to drip back in. Yeah, he was the first-round pick based off of his performance at the Combine. Logan Hall was one of the highest scorers overall. His strength came in the push department. His weakness, airmail with the arm on the outside, which is where he's sitting right now.
Do whatever you want here.
Airmail attempt by Andy Noyes is deep. Nice bag by Peter Sassueta. He brings his bag closer and now gets collected by Noyes. Bag off the back. This is set up for a +3 round for Sassueta, and he guarantees that. This has got to be in just to limit it to 3. And it is not. That's going to be a 5 spot. And these California Slingers keep building a lead.
So you're saying Peter's trying to keep his brother Moses out of the playoffs.
That is a great way to put it. Peter Sassueta can single-handedly keep his brother out of the playoffs with this win. Gabe Dolan goes for the airmail, not able to connect.
I don't mind that one. Like I talked about in the push department, best score out of the rookie combine, Logan Hall. Scored a 204 out of a possible 384. Number 1 above Caden Allen and Jeremiah Ellis.
Started, man.
And this continues to be a big lead, at least chip away a little bit. I was going to say, maybe I misscored that, but they're going to change it. 1 point the other way, 10-0, continues to build that lead there for the California Slingers as we head into round number 5. Sorry, round number 5.
And at what point, if you're Andy and Gabe, you start getting super aggressive to try and start chipping away at this with chunks?
Right now, you're still at that 2 points per round average that you need to make up. So I don't know yet. I think round 7, if we're still looking at something like that, then yeah, I think you need to. I think you have 2 rounds here to play where you can just see what you can score naturally by playing normally and then make an adjustment as you go.
Good placement. I believe his bag on the rim moved closer to falling. Peter doesn't need to get aggressive here.
Honestly, blocking it's fine.
Right.
You're up 10.
I don't like that call.
What was the call?
He says, do you think I should shoot it? If you shoot it and you miss off the back and then Andy hits a crazy shot, that's 5. You give them half the lead back. I'm perfectly fine going board. Let him hit an amazing shot for 2 points. They have to do that 4 more times just to tie you.
Yeah, I agree. I think some type of roll, or if you don't have a roll and you're not comfortable with it, I still think blocking behind is totally fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a block right there on the C and the L of the ACL logo. Just to eliminate that little tap in or the push, something like that.
Peter Sassueta takes a reset for a second. He does go after it, and he rims out. That was more aggressive than we kind of wanted, Wally.
Yeah, I think he's lucky that bag stayed on the board. Again, you got to start thinking of this in phrases of 2s.
And this is an opportunity for Andy Noyes to get 2 right here, and he gets it. Big bag by Andy Noyes.
So it took us a long way to get there. I think we're in decent position to only give up 2 the whole way. Good collect there from Andy. Getting first shot to Gabe. Let's see how Gabe wants to play this on the left. Little teaser block.
That bag is as good as in. Back and forth we go. You need 2. And Dolan does a good job at least to give him something that he's got to collect, but Logan Hall, the first-round pick, does it.
Logan looks calm, cool, and collected. You get a 10-2 lead. You don't really have too many pressure shots. Update on court 2. It's 13-1. Spinners in the lead over there. Frank Verona and Sebastian Schaefer-Ford over Ryan Tucker and Dan Glogowski.
Spinners need that one. Lane is obstructed for Sassueta, but not for Noyes. So Sassueta's going to roll, and he just skips right over. That didn't roll. That was more of a skip shot right there. Nice cut by Noyes to answer, but Sassueta's in the advantageous position. Even still now, he's set up for a potential wash. Oh, and he yells for it to get down. It does not listen, and Sassueta is here. Anything for points. He'll get a single. 11-2 as we head into round number 8.
Washes and ones are wins at this stage for the Slingers. All you have to do now is just maintain 9-point lead heading into the final 3 rounds.
Bunching up here, and now this is not good for the Sliders here, and the Slingers in really good position. Logan Hall, 2 bags in front. He's going up for the airmail, and he knocks 2 in, and that's okay, right? Even if Dolan is able to get a big push here, it's only a single point. You still have a pretty hefty lead with only 2 rounds to remain after this, and he's not able to hit it. He's off the back. Is that going to be a 4 spot, Wally?
That's a 4 spot, and it is going to make it 15-2 with only 8 bags left to be thrown for each team in this game.
All right, the Chicagoland Spinners just took another game, their 54th win. The Aviators get their not 54. That was their 59th win for the Spinners. And then...
Uh-oh. Hold on, Trey. We ain't done yet.
Uh-oh.
As
soon as I started paying attention, Wally, that's all you.
Looking at it. Back down the middle and in there. Didn't even go for the and one. And one would have been 5, a 12-on-2. You're right back in it, you know?
15-4, yeah, exactly. All right, so 15-4. You got to score an 11. So one bag in the hole will win it for the Slingers and then send them to the playoffs, Wally. And that will do it. The California Slingers win this game here. And as I'm going to do a really quick update before we go to break, the Sliders now fall to 49 and 58. That means they are tied with the Carolina Coasters, and they would lose the head-to-head. The California Slingers, when I look at them, they go 54 and 52. They get another game lead, and they have locked up the playoffs, Wally. Big win for the California Slingers. We'll be back. More live action right after this.
Life's most memorable moments, they can happen anywhere. On sports' biggest stage, or even in your own backyard. For those moments, seek a world beyond home. Find furniture, decor, grills, playsets, yard games, and yep, even cornhole. Backyard.com has everything you need to make your backyard summer ready all year long. Backyard.com. Let's have fun.
Ah, nuts. No. Was Planters nuts? It's not nuts.
It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
You can dash, zest, mist, and infuse. But may we recommend the just make the damn drink method. Behold, the 7 and 7. If this is your cocktail, Seagram 7 is your whiskey.
Goes way up top and hits it! He knows it. Goes up top and hits it! What a shot! Ticket to the championship and hits it! What a shot!
Oh, nuts.
No. With Planters nuts, it's not nuts. It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
You can dash, zest, mist, and infuse. But may we recommend the just make the damn drink method. Behold, the 7 and 7. If this is your cocktail, Seagram 7 is your whiskey.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. Teams action on day 3 of the 2024 ACL Final Chase. It's the last day of the regular season for these teams. The Slingers with that last win now. They only have 4 games left to play with a 3-game lead. They cannot miss the playoffs. They have locked up their playoff spot, which means all that matters is on the other end, can the Georgia Sliders pull out 3 wins over these next 4 games. They cannot split 2-2. They have to go 3-1. The pressure is on for these Sliders. And at least to start, they're going to put the bags in the hands of a team that has certainly had some really strong success. And I think one that they trust a lot. But pretty much everything becomes a must-win at this point. It's Duncan Clemmer and Josh Holland for the Sliders up against Kyle Malone and Nick Williams.
You know, I like how you guys in the offseason, you create these storylines and you script the entire season, and you had it designed for the Kyle Malone, Travis Purser trade. And it comes down to this. Right now on court number 2, Travis Purser needs to upset Noah Almanza and Trey Birchfield to punch the ticket for the Spinners. And Kyle Malone here trying to squash the dreams for the Sliders at the same exact moment. You guys are really good at your job.
Great script writers, Corey and Chase. You guys are amazing at writing scripts.
Yeah, so Jordan Kimbrell and Travis Purser versus Noah Almanza and Trey Birchfield. Next up over there on court 2 will be Fisher Hamilton and Gavin Cano against Zach Lewis and Greg Poulos. It could come down to their Game 7, which is Angel Camarena and Zach Engelken against Matt Abernathy and Mike Hoffman. They got to win one of those. It's going to be tough.
Well, let me see. There was some. I don't want to squash any type of. So if I search for the spinners, I'm looking for the spinners versus the bully baggers.
You need the tiebreaker. Right? Zeros on the scoreboard here. This should be a pretty low-scoring game, I would think. Everything down the middle to start. Looks like that was live. A little 12-on-12.
It looks like the Chicagoland Spinners do have the tiebreaker, so I think actually what they don't realize over there on court 2 is that the Spinners are...
Who has it, sorry?
The Spinners have the tiebreaker.
The Spinners have it. Just let them stress for a little bit.
Let's let them stress for a little bit.
So they're in. They're done. They're in.
They're in.
Okay. Nobody tell them. Nobody tell them. Let them stress, chat. It'll be fun.
But the people that are stressed, the Georgia Sliders.
Yes. Bag number 4 off to the side, so that's 4 points for the Slingers.
Josh Holland got slick side down here, trying to clean everything up, including the bag on the right. He brings his bag on the right closer. Same shot opportunity here for Holland, and this time brings everything in and all goes. Nice bag by Josh Holland. And Holland completes the 4-bagger, cuts the lead in half, 4-2 going into round number 4. There's Captain Noah Wooten looking on with his baby boy watching on.
Got to get all the baby luck he can get. Need it now. Georgia Sliders, one of these teams that had a lot of natural paired partners. Tyson, Cameron, Duncan and Josh, Ryan and Ryan.
McWilliams stepping out here, trying to sneak in this left side. He does, but he actually brings in Clemmer with him.
Ooh. Good thing he turned that back over for some reason. I don't know why he turned it over, but it worked.
I was going to say the same thing. He flipped it over onto the slick side, and off the back by Williams is going to give Georgia a 1-point lead, 5-4. Jordan Kimbrell and Travis Purser up 2-1 over there, though, for the Spinners in round number 7. Although what they don't realize is they're also a game and a half out of first place. So I don't know if they win the next 3, if they would become the 1 seed based on what that tiebreak is.
You could always just pretend like that's what we were talking about. I thought you guys already knew you were in. Just worried about the 1 seed now.
It's a nice position there for Holland. Going to be tougher for Malone to get in without Holland if he wants to score here.
I think he's perfectly fine washing out the round. Wow, misses to the left. Off the back it goes. There goes the perfect game from Holland. But he's perfectly fine taking the 3 points as a trade.
8-4. Nice short right block there from Duncan Clemmer. Clemmer cuts across, brings his bag a little bit closer. It's inching its way back in. Oh, but Williams sits in that side now. Now the question is, will Clemmer be able to get in that left side? Yes, he does.
I mean, my question is Duncan going to make a mistake and go for the airmail? Doesn't need to do it. Now he's got the green light with that miss.
He goes for it and just bounces in. Honestly, it's not the end of the world here. That would be a tough push for Williams to collect if he wanted to. So really the question is, what can he get in?
On sticky side. He's going after it.
Hard push up the center. Nick Williams, he cleans off the back and going to be 3 more points. And the Georgia Sliders are up 11-4 now heading into round number 7. 4 rounds remaining. Now Holland is short left.
You never know when the moment's going to happen. I mean, that game 1, going back to Corey Gilbert's 3 airmails when they were down to take the lead in that game, it looked like it was all Tyson Cameron. Could that be what keeps the Sliders out of the playoffs? Great job rolling over there for Holland, keeping that pile in front.
Malone going for the roll again, and now does Holland just say, is he content just to kind of roll on top of the pile? Oh, no, he's going to roll all the way in. Nice bag by Josh Holland. Oh, and another bag straight off the back for the Slinger. It's going to be another 3 points. How many three-point rounds in a row?
That's their third push that they've just missed the entire pile and gone flying off the back. Update over there on court 2, 6-1. Spinners in the lead over the Aviators. The Travis Purser trade paying off.
2 rounds remaining in round 9. Here we are in round 8, 10-point lead for the Sliders. This is exactly what they need. As you can see, the Carolina Coasters in the back there behind them, intently watching as these Coasters are hoping to see the Slingers take down the Sliders so they can squeeze into the playoffs. Block there, not what he wanted, but not the end of the world. It requires still a big push here by Williams. They haven't been able to hit these in the past few rounds, and finally they capitalize on a push. 14-6, heading into round number 9. 8 points over 2 rounds is what the Slingers need. And looks like the upset has been complete. And with that, I believe the Chicagoland Spinners definitely have locked up. Yes, 6-1 is the final over there. The Chicagoland Spinners get another win. That is their 61st win.
Looks like the Sliders have this game in hand. We talked about it already. There's going to be a lot of pressure on that next game. Emily Downer and Michael Allen against Matt and Katie Matthews. Looking like we're on pace for a 2-2 tie in the series, heading into the final 3 games. That bag in right there is going to seal it for the Sliders. They're going to take this one down. Stovepipe time for Clemmer.
Big win here for the Sliders. They needed it as they get another half-game breather over those Coasters. And Duncan Clemmer going to give us a little fancy
almost hit it.
Bag spin. Almost hit it. Well, the Sliders hanging in there. Will they be able to completely hang in there? Will they clinch a playoff spot? More to come from Sliders Slingers coming out after this. All right, welcome back, Cornhole fans. Pressure is on here as we are trying to see who is going to claim the last playoff spots on the other court. Court 2, we just had the Chicagoland Spinners secure another victory that locks them into the playoffs. Now the question becomes, can they catch the Missouri Mays? So they still have something to play for over there on court number 2. But here, all the pressure is on court number 1 with these Georgia Sliders. With that last win by Duncan Clemmer and Josh Holland, they now jump back into a half-game lead over these Coasters. So they have 3 games left to play. That means they have to win 2 out of these 3. They can afford to lose 1, but they got to win 2 out of 3. And now they're going to turn it over to the husband and wife duo of Katie and Matt Matthews against Emily Downer. I can't see on my screen.
Michael Allen.
And Michael Allen. I couldn't even see him over the monitor.
Yeah, so here's your matchups. Where you got Matt and Katie against Emily and Michael right now. Next up, Jerry Lockwood and Noah Wooten versus Tony Smith and Dean Norton. And then the final matchup, Bobby Hunt and Terry Mathis against Brandon Martinez and Roy Fairden. This is the one I was talking about. A must-win here. The good news is Katie Matthews does have round-limited format success this season.
Yes, she does. I'll say this much. I apparently ruined the surprise. So I got a text from Noah Wooten. Hey, I got to put in a transaction. I got to pull up a player earlier this week because I need to have someone else on my roster. He's like, I need to pull up Matt Matthews. And so I was like, sounds good. I processed it. Oh, good. I walk in the building, and Matt and Katie are there. I said, what's up, new Georgia Slider? And he looked at me, and he goes, what? And she goes, oh, Trey, I wasn't going to tell him until the day of that we needed him. I was like, you were going to tell him?
No pressure. I know you're just carrying my bag for me right now, but you have to play, and you have to be the deciding game if we make the playoffs or not.
Right. So now all this I know they did not anticipate for this to happen, but yes, in his first appearance ever on the Georgia Sliders, everything is coming down to him.
This is a huge moment. It could be awesome. Pretty sure that BG is going to fall just off vibration alone. Misses to the right.
Opportunity could get 4 here if you're Downer. Oh, and she gets it.
Very aggressive, going for the airmail over the Relect.
The Relect.
It was a perfect opportunity for the Relect. Good shot on the airmail. Nicely done. 4-2, taking the lead.
I'm a roll drag guy myself.
I know. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get you guys there.
Now I am actually going to look as that other game is going on, Wally, and see if it's the Spinners or if it's the Mays that have the head-to-head.
I talked about those matchups over there on court 2. You know, Gavin Connell and Fisher Hamilton are currently down right now, 4-2 to Greg Poulos and Zach Lewis. Spinners stepping up at the right time.
The Spinners have the head-to-head.
Against the Mays as well?
Against the Mays. So, they do have something else to continue to play for there over on court number 2, because if they win these next 2 games, that would tie them record-wise with the Mays. They would take the 1 seed.
Very interesting. Keep an eye on that one. 4-2 here. Big shot coming.
Allen's away, and he cuts a little bit, creates a little bit of a lane here. Slick side down for Matthews. She resets, delivers, and she bunches everything up. Pretty good shot
like
there.
That.
And they're going to be content just to lay. And now does Katie Matthews think that she has a lane to go through? She's at least going to try it.
Even if you sacrifice that bag, you're getting 3 here if you can get them to fall. Oh, man, she hit it perfectly. It just wasn't going to go.
Going to be 2 points, though. That's going to tie us up here heading into round number 5.
Bar of soap over there from Lewis, getting him excited on court 2.
Locked up that left side. Matthews trying to get around. He's off the back. Downer is able to go in again. Pressure time for Matthews. He goes in that time, but another opportunity on bag number 4 for Downer to get big points. She goes in. It's for 3. She collects. It could be as many as 5. Downer is away. Slick side. She's off the back, and it evens up the round.
Keeping the pressure on this game. Every bag, I'm actually kind of surprised at how quiet it is right now.
You can hear a pin drop in here. It's so intense.
I guess you get more excited whenever they make it rather than the misses. But yeah, there's one big shot. This crowd's ready to erupt.
I'm seeing some reactions by the coasters, too, on that miss. They're like, Emily. Another bag to the right. Huge round for Katie Matthews. Four-point round makes it 8-4 as we head into now round number 7.
Let's see that push. If Emily was able to hit that, that would have been 5 if she was able to collect that bag. That's going to relieve a lot of pressure right there with that miss.
Yes, it does. Because now you have a bumper as along with
now
the
she's
fact
chasing
that,
you.
Yes. A little bit of a rush there.
He's got to relax. He's still looking at a point here.
He finishes it up there. That's a single point. Sliders will certainly take that. Going to be a 9-on-8 round. Going to get a single point, 9-4, round number 8.
Must have missed a huge round over there on court, too. The Aviators came back to take the lead 11-9 as soon as I start talking about Hunt Fisher side rails. Got my announcer jinx in full force today. Doubles teams better watch out later.
Who do you want to win?
Like over there on that match?
No, I'm saying
I'll say
I was
not
doubles.
the
I was making a commentator jinx joke. Bag in front there, takes away position. And Matthews, that is a perfect block, kind of pins the bag as well. Pressure time for Allen. He's going after it. He's off the back, knocks one in. That's going to be a couple points, though. I'm watching Corey Gilbert and Austin Slowbaum, one person from the Slingers, who's obviously rooting for the Slingers, and Austin Slowbaum on the coasters dapping it up after every time the Slingers score.
Another miss there from Emily to start the round. Round number 9. Final 4 bags for these players on the right.
Matthews, oh, what a great bag to kind of sit in position, but this is still a big push opportunity. Slick side down for Downer. She is away, but does she bunch everything? And now this is a key block here for Matthews, and he sits. He kind of leaves a little bit. Emily Downer going to take a timeout, and the question is slide or airmail. Do you go with the hard push slick side, or you try to drag with the airmail? They are very much bunched there, Wally. What do you like?
I personally think you're on house money. You're already in the playoffs. You shoot the airmail. You could sacrifice the bag in hand since he's got one on the ground. Or he's still got one left to shoot, rather.
Big bag here. Downer is away. She's going line drive. She's off the back. Matthews can now lay on the front of the board for a single point. And what a round to survive for Matthews. And now husband has done his job. Wife has to do hers just to hold a 3-point lead. Beautiful position for Matthews. She pushes in and replace. That may be a clincher.
Doesn't need to do anything aggressive here.
Yeah, I like laying up, like totally laying up, like blocking right in front.
Or missing anywhere. Just don't go off the board.
That is extremely aggressive. You just don't need it in round 10. And fortunate here that Allen goes off the back as well, and she's going to lay up, and she's got +3. You got to do some magic here. I can't even think of scenario. Not able to do it, and the Georgia Sliders going to get a victory.
What a moment for the Matthews.
Absolutely needed it.
Called up, came in clutch.
You can't lose the next two. You just got to win one. The Sliders got a chance. More live from Valley Forge when we come back.
Life's most memorable moments. They can happen anywhere. On sports' biggest stage, or even in your own backyard. For those moments, seek a world beyond home. Find furniture, decor, grills, playsets, yard games, and yep, even cornhole. Backyard.com has everything you need to make your backyard summer ready all year long. Backyard.com. Let's have fun.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Bush's Baked Beans have always been the official bean of making burgers taste better. And now, they're the official beans of the SEC.
And the official bean of whatever that is.
Hey, it's tailgate fashion. Now this guy gets it.
Ah, nuts.
No. Was Planters nuts? It's not nuts.
It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Ah, nuts.
Goes way up top and hits it! He knows it, goes up top and hits it! What a shot! Ticket to the championship and hits it! What a shot!
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You've got the force field, the moat, the saucy sheriff. No matter your cookout plate strategy,
Bush's baked beans make burgers taste better.
I love me a saucy sheriff.
Nuts.
No. With Planters nuts, it's not nuts. It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Ah, nuts.
All right, Cornhole fans, we are getting down to it. For the Georgia Sliders and the California Slingers, only 2 games remain of their 111-game regular season. It all comes down to this. Will it be the Georgia Sliders making the playoffs in the American South, or the onlooking Carolina Coasters? Will they sneak in and steal that final spot? Here's the scenario. The Georgia Sliders have 2 games left against these California Slingers. They need to win one of them. If they lose both, they are out of the playoffs and the Carolina Coasters are in. If they win one or both, they're in the playoffs as the last seed there, sneaking in. And their reward for making the playoffs, Wally, would be to play the Aviators in the first round. So it's not a great reward, but at least you're getting in the playoffs.
At least you're in the show.
And when we talk about the playoff standing, that's where all the payouts come in. So let's talk about that really quick. The Pro Teams World Championship, that final playoff bracket, Wally, $150,000 paid out in that single tournament. $48,000 will go to the winning team. Second place is $30,000. The 2 third-place finishing teams will get $18,000, and then the 4 fifth-place finishing teams will get $9,000 each. So the first-place team, every player on the team, everyone on the roster is getting $3,000, and then if you come in dead last in the playoffs, each player's still getting close to $600. So good total payout on the line here.
2-0 start here, relying on the captain, Noah Wooten, throwing against the captain on the other side, and Tony Smith.
Noah Wooten, first bag, very short. And would this be Tony Smith sending his friend Noah Wooten home? Couldn't be this one game to send him home, but remind me, Wally, who we have in Game 7.
Game 7 for the Sliders will be Bobby Hunt and Terry Mathis against Brandon Martinez and Roy Fairden.
I like that matchup for the Sliders.
I do. I said it all came down to the Matthews matchup, and they delivered. Got two important factors that may play a role at the rest of this game and then the next game, and that is Ryan Hart and Jeremiah Ellis are going to be very vocal. They're going to start teasing Dean Norton, and they're going to start cheering on Terry Mathis. That's all I know.
Going to be 2 points there for the Slingers. They tie it up 2-2 heading into round number 3. Again, this could be a game-winning game. Game-winning game? This could be a playoff clinching game here.
Noah Wooten, it has to be ecstatic that he only gave up 2 points after that first bag, hit that all cornhole logo on the front part of the board.
Oh, another bag right there by Lockwood. This opens the door for a 4-point round here for Norton. That's going to be 4 for the Slingers. 6-2, round number 4.
I mean, let's just say the scoring is going to have to come on that left-hand side from Lockwood and Norton. Tony Smith, on paper, has a huge advantage over Noah Wooten, but Noah is very familiar with Tony and his play style. Were they partners a couple years ago? That was Hunter Thorne and Noah at one point. I think it was last year, right?
Tony Smith played with Justin Stranger. Was there 1 year where they played together?
I feel like they did. That was during, like, Airmail City years.
I believe they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did, because they made the 2022 Final Chase Final Four. Oh, and a miss there by Tony Smith. Each player with a missed airmail. Wooten going up. He knocks one in and goes off the back, and now Smith decision. Does he go push?
If you want to, go ahead. You're good. I mean, that's a little ways out there. But you know what? Just go ahead and put it in. How about that?
Dean Norton just wants the points. Tony's wanting to have fun.
Right now, Wooten's got 2 off, 1 in. So right now it's +1, Tony. He goes for the hard push. He's off the back. It's an ugly 4-on-3 right now. Wooten is away. He goes in and gets 2. It's going to make it 6-4 heading into round 5.
Tony might have got a little pride left.
All right, let me ask you this. If you are Terry Mathis, and Bobby Hunt, do you want to play? What do you want?
I think Terry and Bobby want that matchup. I think they want the points. Looking over here to my right, Bobby's got the bags in hand. I guarantee before they even dap it up, Bobby will be on the court ready to throw. He's ready. He was one of the first players here warming up this weekend. Been very impressed with what I've seen out of Bobby Hunt and Trey Hunt this year. They want that pressure.
Looks like across the way, the Aviators locked up a win there.
Yeah, took that one down 21-4 in 7 rounds.
Okay, so the Spinners' final record for the season will be 60-51. And then the Aviators will finish 70.
And here we go, 6-6 tie. The Coasters starting to get a little stressed. I mean, this is what's gotta suck, that you just can't do anything right now except for watch. And, like, Tony and Dean are playing very, very loose, and it's just got to be burning you inside.
Right.
like you have to play discipline, but you really can't yell at the other team for not winning it for you. If only somebody would have told them at the beginning of the season that every game matters.
Another bag in there by Wooten. In by Wooten. Can it be answered by Smith? It is not. It is off the back. Going to be 3 points.
And now Austin Schlobaum just sitting back in his chair in disgust over there. He's like, please, come on, fix it. 9-6. Sliders need this one to clinch.
That bag is short now. Does this make Dean Norton go up? He is going up. He hits the airmail.
Here it comes.
Oh, and now Lockwood pushes that bag into dragging distance, and then Norton hits the drag. Lockwood going for the push. He gets around it, does not get a push. Can Norton go in to take the lead? He can. The Slingers will not let these Sliders take it. Here's the airmail there by Norton. Here's the second one for the drag.
Corey Gilbert fired up. Austin Schlobaum back on the edge of his seat. Looking at the PPRs in this, Noah Wooten has been the stronger player before that round with a 9.33. Dean Norton throwing a 9.5. Lockwood 8.5. Tony Smith at 8.33 with some rare misses.
Noah Wooten taking a timeout, thinking about what he wants to do.
Corey over there heckling.
I like a roll here, Wally. Roll here would not be terrible, I don't think.
Six side? Can't tell.
Now Tony Smith got a lane here. I like stick.
I'd go push, but I go sticky.
Yeah, stick side push is what Dean Norton wants here. He goes after it, bunches up into it. No, Wooten wants to block it.
Perfect placement on that.
Now there's an opportunity to shoot it. You could possibly get a drag here for Tony Smith. Smith is up. No, he's going to roll. And he gets all the way up and over. How about that roll by Tony Smith and really puts Wooten in a tough position. Wooten going to take another timeout here. And I don't know if there's an airmail opportunity even to be had here, Wally. I mean, unless you really think that bag on the right would go on a 2-for-1.
I don't think so. I think if Noah Wooten's got one more roll left in him, now's the time to break it out. Try and follow Tony's path. Worst case scenario, you give up a couple points here.
And he just lays it up. Going to concede the 2 and trust his partner, Jerry Lockwood, to keep him in it. 12-9, 2 rounds to go.
You've seen the aggressiveness for Dean Norton the last round, shooting the airmails. Jerry's got to try to get him back to that situation. And here's what I was talking about. Jeremiah Ellis and Ryan Hart make themselves front row. Dean Norton. If you don't hear, let's go, Dean, at some point, I'll be shocked.
Lockwood stepping out, feels like he has to collect.
That's low.
Oh, and that could be a game-deciding bag here. Dean Norton is in. Lockwood going to push in. He's off the side. That is going to be an 8. That's essentially going to do it. That will wrap it up. One bag in by Tony Smith will win it.
Oh, the script writers are so good at what they do. It's going to come down to game number 7. The entire season on the line. Even Corey over there telling him, get him.
All righty, folks, here it comes. A half-game lead for the Georgia Sliders heading into game number 7. If they lose the next game, game number 7, they are out of the playoffs. If they win it, they're in the playoffs. 110 games in, it comes down to number 111. We'll be back right after this.
Life's most memorable moments. They can happen anywhere. On sports' biggest stage, or even in your own backyard. For those moments, seek a world beyond home. Find furniture, decor, grills, playsets, yard games, and yep, even cornhole. Backyard.com has everything you need to make your backyard summer ready all year long. Backyard.com. Let's have fun.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Bush's Baked Beans have always been the official bean of making burgers taste better. And now, they're the official beans of the SEC.
And the official bean of whatever that is.
Hey, it's tailgate fashion. Now this guy gets it.
Ah, nuts. No. Was Planters nuts? It's not nuts.
It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
Goes way up top and hits it! He knows it. Goes the top and hits it! What a shot! Ticket to the championship and hits it! What a shot!
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You've got the force field, the moat, the saucy sheriff. No matter your cookout plate strategy,
Bush's baked beans make burgers taste better.
I love me a saucy sheriff.
Nuts.
No. With Planters nuts, it's not nuts. It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
It all comes down to Game 7 of this series. Each team across the team's division has played 111 games, except for these two who have played 110. And now the fate of the season comes down to this single matchup for the Georgia Sliders. They maintain a half-game lead over the Carolina Coasters in the American South. If they win this game, they finish with a one-game lead. They book a ticket to the playoffs. If they lose, they fall to the same record as the Coasters, who hold the head-to-head tie-breaker. The Georgia Sliders are now going to put all of their faith in Terry Mathis and Bobby Hunt to save the season as they go up against Brandon Martinez and Roy Furden of the California Slingers, as the Carolina Coasters look on, awaiting to see if it will be them or the Sliders into the playoffs. Trey Ryder, Wally Kassler. Wally, this is when you shape up a season, when you write the script for the season, as you said, this is how you write it, and what a fitting way to end the regular season. It's going to be a fun one.
I mean, Terry Mathis, definitely an OG. I don't know how long Bobby's been around the game. I don't think I consider him an OG just yet. But I think the pressure's got to be on the Slinger side. We're chasing the truck, rooting for Texas. Brandon Martinez, belt buckles, cowboy hats, Texas.
I think we could sit here and analyze keys to the game and strategy and all that kind of stuff, Wally, but I think this one's actually pretty simple. Who can handle the pressure? All four players on the court, certainly you could say, Some have higher skills, some may are better shot makers, but in the end, when you put all of this on the line, it's going to come down to who can live in the moment and rise to the occasion. And so far, Bobby Hunt with 2 bags, one left and one right. And that bag is moving, and it goes. And if these sliders are going to make the playoffs, Wally, they're going to have to fight back from a 4-0 deficit coming out of round number 1.
And here comes the crowd. They're all getting into it. I'm going to keep an eye on that first bag from each team. First one there for Bobby was off. First one for Brandon in.
Terry Mathis with a fantastic block up the center that now he has position to push through. Ooh, but he's off the side.
Scoreboard not updated, but it is 4-0. Oh my goodness, what is happening to start this one out on paper? I was on the other side, but Slingers running away with it to start, 7-0.
The coasters in the corner are all smiles. Jamie Graham, Berkeley Pear, Eric Davis. They're loving what they see early in this one. In this game, on paper, Wally, means absolutely nothing to the California Slingers.
Exactly. Every bag now, Terry's starting to change his facial expression. Pressure's starting to mount up and rise. The further we get into this game, you can't put yourself in too big of a deficit. I mean, Bobby does look nervous throwing over here on this left-hand side. Might be carrying a little bit too much.
Roy Ferdin ends up with a 10-point round. Can Bobby Hunt answer with a 10 of his own? Keep it a 7-0 game. He can. It just strips in the front there.
Yeah, that bag clipped on its side of the bag on the left. Luckily, there was enough slick side material to drag it the rest of the way to the hole.
7-0.
The good news is they didn't give anything up there, so they're improving.
Round number 4, another block there by Terry Mathis. Love the position. Just running bags in this one. A 4-bagger by Martinez. Answered by Mathis, so we stay 7-0, but now into round number 5. There are the coasters, ready to celebrate a playoff berth.
Opportunity here for the sliders to strike.
Everything hanging in the balance, and Bobby Hunt not able to get down the center. Another one in for Hunt. Ferdin, another 10. He's been solid down here. Now halfway through the game, it remains 7-0. So only 2 scoring rounds thus far. Is a 7 and a 4. I mean, a 4 and a 3 to make 7.
Yeah, the opportunity was there for Bobby to get started. He's got to capitalize on those rounds. Like you said, Ferdin looks like he's locked in. Even if he only misses one bag, you got to take advantage with a 12 at some point. Good blocker.
Yeah, I love that level 1.5 block there. And Martinez, no hesitation, goes airmail, playing loose. Nice follow through there by Mathis. First opportunity, clean opportunity to score here for Mathis up the center. Count it. Sliders are on the board.
+2, and here comes Ellis on the sideline. Bobby, though, he's got to have a confidence builder round right now. Needs to get on the board or at least throw a 4-bagger.
There are only 4 rounds remaining potentially for the Sliders season. That's a first bag hanging in. Another bag in. Can Ferdin stay down the center? He has been mostly down the center, thrown a bunch of 10s so far. Has been good for 1 miss around, but hasn't made any erratic mistakes. Oh, there's that 1. Bobby Hunt to go into guarantee 2.
Didn't look that great coming out of his hand.
Now can Ferdin get in for the wash? Bag is away, and he does clip that back side of the hole. Score remains 7-2. Only 3 rounds remain.
Taking a quick look at these PPRs. Bobby Hunt throwing a 9.5. Ray Ferdin with a 10.67. Martinez with a 10.5.
Oh, and we threw a bag out of turn. Wow, so Terry Mathis now gets to throw 2 bags in a row. Are you kidding? Could that be the momentum flip they needed? There's Terry Mathis for 1. He gets his 2nd bag here. And he gets short right on that one, still collectible, but that's a mistake from Martinez. Could be that what keeps the Sliders in here. Are you kidding me?
Good adjustment coming back with his first shot there.
Oh, but Mathis throws it off the back. And now we are even. Going into the last bag, does Terry Mathis have an airmail in him, Wally? Bag is away, and he knocks his own in as good as an airmail, but can Martinez collect his own? If he can do it, it's for 2 points. Martinez is away, and he knocks it in for the wash. Wow. And again, just to review the rule, what happened is Martinez did not have the first bag of the round. He threw out of turn, so that bag immediately is removed, and then Terry Mathis throws 2 in a row to reestablish the order of play. But 2 rounds remaining. We stay at 7-2. Last round, barring overtime from these 2 players. You got to get 5 points over 2 rounds. And that bag looks like it's going to go, Wally.
Yeah, the Pro Sniper lead on the back looks like it should fall. Oh, unless you pin it up on the corner. Oh, my gosh. Think about the missed opportunities the Sliders have had in this round. Bobby Hunt with a couple opportunities to throw a 4-bagger, missing a couple points. Terry missing 3 on the last round.
Ferdin goes after it. I don't think that bag's moving now, Wally.
Yeah, it did not move at all, and he hit it. I don't think you go after it with an airmail either. You got to try and maintain the lead going into the final round.
Oh, and it bunches up, and now that bag moved that time, though, and now can Ferdin go in and possibly get a wash out of this? He's off the back, and it's a 5-point round. Oh, but it falls! Mathis knew. He held up the finger. He said, hold the phone.
Now, if I'm Brandon Martinez, I'm setting that bag on the board. I'm making sure somebody tells me it's my throw, which it is not, by the way. It is Terry Mathis' turn.
It all comes down to this 10th round, down 2. Playoffs on the line. First bag by Terry. Mathis hits the dead spot, but it is in the landing zone of Brandon Martinez. Martinez. It's the airmail clean. Mathis goes in. Martinez, he's going up again. He hits another airmail. Is he going to shoot 4 airmails, Wally?
I mean, why not? The chances of Terry collecting that bag are pretty small.
Martinez, he hits another one. That's essentially going to clinch it. Terry Mathis has got to get all these bags in the hole. He cannot do it, and it's Brandon Martinez that ruins the season for the Georgia Sliders on the back of 3 airmails in round number 10. Ladies and gentlemen, the Carolina Coasters are going to the playoffs. Wow.
Man, I've had FOMO for the last 2 years missing out on a great match in teams. I was always on the wrong court. This time I finally got it. Happy to see the outcome there. Brandon Martinez thrown out of turn. You thought it was over. Redeems himself with 3 clutch airmails.
Man, that's going to be one that the Georgia Sliders think about for a long off season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The next time you see ACL teams play will be in the playoffs at the 2024 ACL World Championships, August 4th through the 7th in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We're going to take a break for a couple hours. When we come back on ESPN Plus, ACL TV, Facebook, and YouTube, we will be live for national doubles here at the Final Chase. For my partner in crime this morning and into the afternoon, Wally K9 Castler. This is Trey Ryder saying so long. We'll see you later here from Valley Forge Casino.